Everyone knows the photo showing monkeys slowly becoming humans. It is the first picture anyone thinks about when they hear the word evolution. But how accurate is it? Did we humans actually evolve from monkeys? And are we the most evolved species in the world? We've all heard the phrases survival of the fittest and natural selection. When we think of fitness, we imagine something large and strong, like a lion or a gorilla, which can survive due to these characteristics. And natural selection sounds like a choice, where the perfect qualities are always chosen to obtain a better organism. But what do these have to do with evolution? In this video, I will delve deeper into the questions and misconceptions that a lot of people have regarding the difficult topic of evolution. So firstly, what is evolution? Evolution is a process where living things change their genetic makeup or their DNA over time through inheritance, or simply put, descent with modification. It can easily be shown through a family tree, which can be extended to long periods of time, for example millions of years, to show the changes through time. In biology, these are called phylogenetic trees, and they show how the species evolved over time and their common ancestors, similar to a normal family tree showing how people are related to each other. So let's compare the picture of monkeys becoming humans to the phylogenetic tree of primates. And this includes both monkeys and humans. The phylogenetic tree shows that monkeys are related to humans, but humans did not evolve from monkeys. They both share a common ancestor in the past. So in this way we can see that humans are very closely related to monkeys and other apes, but we are not descended from them. On another similar point, we often think of Neanderthals, Homo neanderthalensis, and other ancient human-like species of being our ancestors. In fact, Neanderthals and the species we form a part of, Homo sapiens, actually lived together for a certain period of time. This shows that we are also not descended from Neanderthals, but we are closely related and share a common ancestor. So, are humans the most evolved species because we are very recent on the phylogenetic tree? How recent a species is does not actually reflect how much evolutionary change it has gone through throughout the years. Thus, all organisms, even those as small and simple as bacteria, have undergone a lot of evolutionary change over time, even though they are not recent. So in this way, we can see that everything has undergone a lot of change since it first branched out from the rest of the phylogenetic tree. But how does this occur? How do organisms start? How do they change? And how do they evolve? Is it completely random? A way in which evolution can occur is through natural selection, which leads to adaptations. The first step for natural selection to occur is a random mutation in the genetic code. So the first part is random. If and when this occurs, selection for it is not random. So if a beneficial mutation occurs, it is selected for. Natural selection and adaptation also cannot occur in a single individual. They occur through multiple generations in a whole population. The mutation is only beneficial if it increases fitness. Fitness, as referred to in survival of the fittest, does not actually mean great strength, speed, size, or anything like that. In science, it refers to the ability of an organism to survive and reproduce. Therefore, any mutation that increases the chance of this happening will be selected for. This will then lead to evolutionary change over a long time. So is evolution always beneficial? Not necessarily. Evolution that does not lead to a beneficial adaptation usually occurs by a chance event. This can occur by a neutral mutation, for example, that does not really change any function or any characteristic, but this randomly increases over time. A natural disaster also can cause this mutation to spread more and thus cause evolutionary change. For example, a river in Congo separated a group of apes into two different populations because they could not swim across the river. This led to those in the north becoming chimpanzees and those in the south eventually becoming bonobos. These have very different features and styles of life due to this random chance event that caused them to separate. When talking about evolution, it sometimes feels like it is a very slow process and very difficult to observe. Like we can only notice evolution happening through the fossil records. Scientists often talk about it occurring over thousands or millions of years. However, evolution can sometimes occur very quickly, even in a single human lifetime. For example, in Canada, recently the spring is starting earlier due to global warming. This has led to Canadian squirrels breeding earlier so that they can obtain and hoard more food for the following winter. This change of behavior is due to a genetic change. Those individuals which have that change are more likely to survive and reproduce, which is basically evolution. When looking at a phylogenetic tree, it is also easy to think that evolution occurs suddenly through the big steps or big changes to form different species and different type of living things. This is not actually the case because evolution occurs all the time in everything. So it is a very slow and gradual process, but through very small changes occurring all the time, eventually that leads to noticeable big changes. Evolution is a complicated topic with many different people thinking that it means different things, and some people even argue that it does not exist. However, it is supported by multiple lines of evidence, and even though it is very complex, it makes a lot of sense when looking at the fossil record and the living things we observe today. Its complexity is, in my opinion, what makes living things so interesting. The way nature has evolved throughout the years is a very long-winded process, but it has led to every living thing we can now see, from bacteria to large trees and from fungi to large animals and everything you can imagine to be living. Thank you for listening and see you in another episode of SciSolve.